Let us consider another example here. So in this example, there is a pole at origin and there is a pole at -1. Okay, and we need to draw the polar plot for this. Now, if we calculate a magnitude will be this and phase will be this. Okay. Now let us apply the standard procedure to draw the approximate procedure to draw the polar plot. When omega is equal to 0, magnitude will be infinity, right? And phase will be minus 90 degree, right? So here you can see this point. Now the first time only we have occurred that magnitude is infinite because there is a pole at origin. Where there is a pole at origin, magnitude will start from infinite point because at that point magnitude is infinite. So you can represent that magnitude is infinite like this. Okay, from here this polar plot is starting. Now let us see what is the magnitude at omega is equal to infinity. So magnitude will be 0 and phase will be minus 180 degree. Now here after finding these two steps, we find out ending direction and starting direction. Okay, ending direction and starting direction we find out. Now if you see here, okay, so first step is this, second is this, and third step is finding out the ending direction. Now we have taken the difference of angles, so we got a positive angle. So ending direction will be clockwise. Okay, so we got ending direction clockwise. Now there is a finite. Just a minute. Okay, so now there is a finite pole at finite pole near to the origin. So here starting direction is also clockwise. Okay, so we find it out the ending direction, starting direction, and the magnitude and phase at omega is equal to 0 and infinity. So let us start the polar plot. At omega is equal to 0, magnitude is infinite, angle is minus 90 degree. So this is a minus 90 degree line, right? Okay. So magnitude is infinite. So you can represent this like infinite magnitude like this. Okay. And at omega is equal to infinity, magnitude is 0 and angle is minus 180 degree. So this is a minus 180 degree line, right? And magnitude is 0, that will be at origin. Okay, so and the ending direction, starting direction is clockwise. So you can just draw like this. Okay, approximate polar plot. Okay, so at this point, magnitude will be 0, omega will be infinity, and angle will be minus 180 degree. So this line will be minus 180 degree line. Okay. Now we have done this for approximate condition. Okay. So this is 180 degree line. This is minus 90 degree. Okay. So let us find out the exact polar plot for this. Okay. So what is the exact polar plot? Let us find out. So here you can see I have just simplified the transfer function when I converted this into frequency domain. So I just simplified this transfer function, multiplied numerator by 1 minus j omega and denominator by 1 minus j omega. So I got this. So if I simplify this, I got the location of this particular at omega is equal to 0. I got the location. Just enable this pointer. At omega is equal to 0, I got the location of that particular magnitude, that point at omega is equal to 0. I got a real part minus 1 and imaginary part in minus infinity. Okay. Now, if you see this polar plot, the approximate one, so here we have started polar plot like this, where magnitude is infinite, right? But we just approximated it. But when we find it out, omega is the exact point at omega is equal to 0, we got that there is one asymptote which is intersecting the real axis at -1. So here you can see. So where imaginary part is infinite, but it is magnitude will be infinite only, because if you take a magnitude of this complex number, that will be infinite, no issue. But we just need to find out if I draw the asymptote to this particular polar plot, where it will intersect to the real axis. Okay, so that will be intersect at -1, because the real part at omega is equal to 0 is -1. Okay, so this is the exact polar plot. Okay, so like this way, there is one difference between exact and the approximate when you want to find out the intersection with the real axis. Okay, at that time, if you want to find out the stability, you can use this approximate one also, no issue. But if they ask you to find the intersection with the real axis, then you can just apply this technique, okay, to find out the exact point. You can draw the polar plot, but if you want to find out the exact point, you can apply this procedure. Okay, so like this way, there is a difference between approximate and exact polar plot. Okay, that's why the thing is there. Now, one observation we can note here: in the previous transfer function, we haven't used any pole at origin in transfer function. So if you see the 1 upon s plus 1 transfer function polar plot, so we have drawn somewhere. Here we have drawn 1 upon s plus 1. So this is the polar plot for 1 upon s plus 1. If I copy this, okay, so this is the polar plot for this open loop transfer function. Now, if you see, when I add when I add pole at origin in transfer function, you can see that tail angle and the head angle is shifted by -90° in clockwise direction. Now, in this polar plot, the tail angle was 0° line, okay, and end angle was -9, head angle was -90°, okay. So this is the 0°, this is the -90°. When I add a pole at origin in transfer function, this one, okay, what happened? This tail angle was angle is -90°, and the head angle is -180°. So what conclusion we can draw here? Addition of each pole at origin shift the total plot by -90° in the clockwise direction. Okay, that is the point here. Now, this is the way to this is the conclusion here. There is another shortcut technique to find out the angles. Okay, angle. Okay, so you just don't need to calculate all these things. But time being, I will not tell you that technique, because you may get confused, because that technique. This is, you can use these formulas and just put. This is also within less time you can draw. But at the last, I will tell you that technique, which is to find out the angle by looking at any transfer function directly. Okay. So have you understood this point? Any doubt here? Any doubt? If you got any doubt, you can ask me. Can we proceed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let us see. We have seen the examples where there are finite poles were there. Now, if there is only pole or if there is only zeros in a transfer function, what will be the polar plot for them? We will see that. Okay. So this is example number 1. We need to draw the polar plot for this open loop transfer function. So that will be s square. So there will be 2 zeros at origin. Okay. So magnitude will be omega square and phase will be 180 degree. Okay. So for all frequency, phase angle will be 180 degree. And as you increase the omega from 0 to infinity, this particular magnitude will increase. So this plot will be just a line on the 180 degree axis. So as you increase the omega, magnitude will increase and phase is 180 only. So this is a simple straight line. Okay. So if there is a only zeros in a transfer function, okay, zeros in a multiple zeros in a transfer function, the polar plot will be a straight line. Okay. So if you see the S cube, this one, if you want to draw the polar plot for S cube transfer function, so here magnitude will be omega cube, but phase will be 270 degree, right? So this polar plot will be on 270 degree line. So as you increase the omega, magnitude will increase, okay, like this way. So this red color is there, no? That is a polar plot. Okay. So what conclusion we can draw here? Just a minute. There is one correction here. Okay, in note you just only you can say a pole at origin, right? Okay, this may be a pole at origin if we haven't drawn for pole. There is a finite force. Okay, ठीक this note is valid for this. So what note we can conclude here? Whenever transfer function consists of only poles or zeros at origin. Okay, this is very important at origin. When transfer function consists of only poles or zeros at origin, the polar plot is nothing but the angle line. Okay, so we have seen that this is the polar plot, nothing but 270 degree angle line, and here 180 degree angle line. Okay, so that is the conclusion here. Now let us see the exception here. This is the example number 1, which is exceptional. So what is the exception here? Here starting direction and ending direction is different. Okay. So let us see the example number 1. Here a transfer function is s plus 1 upon s cube into s plus 2 into s plus 3. You need to draw the polar plot for this. Now if you see this, the pole 0 locations in S plane, so there will be 3 repeated poles at origin. There will be one finite 0 at -1, 2 poles at -2 and -3. Okay, so just convert into frequency domain, find out the magnitude, find out the phase. All of you know now how to find out the angle for any complex number, right? Just use that. I assume that you know that thing, and we have seen that in root locus also, right? In root locus also we have used this angle conditions and all this. Okay, so first find out magnitude, phase, then the first step, find out the magnitude and phase at omega is equal to 0. So at omega is equal to 0, magnitude will be infinity and phase will be what? Minus 270 degree. Okay. If hello. So at omega is equal to infinity, magnitude will be 0 and phase will be minus 360 degree. So let us find out the ending direction and starting direction. Okay. So ending direction will be minus 270 degree minus 360 degree, that will be plus 90 degree. So positive. So clockwise will be there. Clockwise ending direction will be there. Now the starting direction. There is a finite 0 near to the imaginary axis. Okay. So starting direction will be anti-clockwise, right? Okay. So we done with all these 4 steps. Now we need to draw the polar plot. So let us start from omega is equal to 0. At omega is equal to 0, magnitude is infinite, but phase angle is minus 270 degree. Okay. So here you can see, here we have started where magnitude is infinite, omega is 0, and this is a minus 270 degree line, right? So I started polar plot from this point. Now at omega is equal to infinity, magnitude is 0 and angle is minus 360 degree, right? So this will be the line for minus 360 degree. Okay. Now what is the ending direction? Ending direction is clockwise, but what is the starting direction? That will be anti-clockwise. So I started this polar plot like this. So this will be the starting direction, that is a clockwise. Is it right? This will be the starting direction, that will be the anti-clockwise. Okay. This is the starting direction anti-clockwise, and then ending direction is clockwise. So if I just, this polar plot will go like this. So ending direction is clockwise. So this will be the direction. So at omega is equal to infinity, magnitude will be 0 and angle will be minus 360 degree. So here, if you observe here, there is an intersection with minus 270 degree axis. Okay, of this polar plot. Okay, so have you got this concept? Starting direction is anti-clockwise, so that's why I have taken like this, and ending direction is clockwise, so I have taken like this. Okay, understood? Understood this point? Again I will explain. Okay, so ending direction is clockwise and starting direction is anti-clockwise. So when I start the polar plot, I will choose the anti-clockwise direction like this. Okay, anti-clockwise, and when I end the polar plot, I will use the ending direction clockwise. So like this way. So this will be the clockwise, this will be the anti-clockwise, like this way. Okay, have you understood this point? Can we proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let us see this transfer function. Now we just added, there is a pole. Okay, only one origin, 0, one pole at origin reduced. Okay, so now let us see this example. Now in this example, you need to draw the polar plot for this transfer function, s plus 1 upon s square into s plus 2 into s plus 3. Okay, so we find out magnitude and phase. So at omega is equal to 0, magnitude will be infinity, angle will be minus 180 degree. At omega is equal to infinity, magnitude is 0, angle will be minus 270 degree. Ending direction, minus 180 minus 270, so that will be minus 270, so that will be 90 degree, clockwise direction. Okay, positive angle is there. Starting direction, there is a pole, there is a 0 at origin. If you draw the pole 0 plot for this particular transfer function, you can observe that at minus 1 there is a 0 near to the imaginary axis, near to the imaginary finite 0. So starting direction will be anti-clockwise. So let us draw the polar plot for this. So just you need to remember that ending direction is clockwise, but starting direction is anti-clockwise. Okay. So at omega is equal to 0, magnitude is infinity, and the phase angle is minus 180 degree. So I will start from this point. This is 180 or minus 180 degree line, right? And magnitude is infinite, so I need to start polar plot like this way. Okay. So now the starting direction is anti-clockwise. That's why I'm taking starting direction like this. Now the ending direction is clockwise, so I will take like this. At omega is equal to infinity, magnitude is 0, angle is minus 270 degree. So this will be the 270 degree line. Okay, so at this point the polar plot will end. Okay, so like this way you can draw the polar plot for this. You just need to observe the starting direction and the ending direction, the magnitude and phase at omega is equal to 0 and infinity. Okay, so let us find out the intersection with minus 180 degree axis. As you know, you just need to use angle formula, right? Okay, just need to put minus 180 degree in the angle of the open loop transfer function. Then here you can see at minus 180 degree, what is omega? So we just solve this. So if I solve this, I got omega is equal to 1 radian per second. Like this way, you can find out the frequency of intersection. Now at which frequency this polar plot is intersecting this minus 180 degree axis. Okay, so this is the way to find out that thing. And what is how to find out? Can you tell me what will be the magnitude at that point? Anyone? What will be the magnitude at this point? I got omega is equal to 1.
Zero.
At this point, how the magnitude will be 0? At this point, what is the omega? We just find it out now. Omega is equal to 1 radian per second. At this point, we just find it out. Omega is equal to 1 radian per second at this point. Now, if I want to find out the magnitude, now you tell me this. What is mean by magnitude? If we see the plot, that is not a 0 magnitude. Okay, so this is the polar plane. Now, magnitude means what? It is a distance from the origin. Okay, distance from the origin. Okay, at this point only magnitude will be 0 because that is a point on origin. Okay, now there are 3 circles. The radius 1 circle, this outer one is radius 1 circle. This circle is radius 0.5 circle, and this circle will be radius 0.2 circle. Okay. So now distance from this point to this point will be 1. So if I want to find out the magnitude at this point, magnitude at this point will be 1. Similarly, what is the magnitude at this point? Distance from the origin. Anyone? What is the magnitude at this point? That is a 0.5, no? That is a 0.5 radius circle. Magnitude is 0.5. Angle is 30 degree. Are you getting? What is
Yes,
what is the magnitude at this point?
0.5 and 0.2.
Yes, 0.2. And angle will be 0 because this is 0 degree line, na? These blue lines determines the angles, and this red circle radius determine the magnitude. Okay, magnitude and angle. All these things are based on this only. That's why I'm telling you to solve the problem and then reply me. So I will get that you are getting or not. Okay, take it. So all this thing is based on this only. You just, that's why if you have any doubt, you ask me at that point. So I will that point will be get clear because all this topic after this are interlinked. Okay. If you understand the polar plot, you will understand the Nyquist plot. If you understand polar plot clearly, you will not take any time to understand Nyquist plot. Okay, all these topics are interlinked. So if you got any doubt, you can ask me freely. Don't worry about this. Okay. Now here what I have taken magnitude is infinity. Okay, so what I am assuming that this point will start from magnitude infinity. The distance from the origin to this point where it started, it is infinity. Okay, that's why I am representing that like this. Magnitude is infinity, and at this point, what is the magnitude? 0. So where we are? We were here, right? Yeah, right. So yeah, now here we got that. So as you increase the omega, what will happen? The magnitude will decrease like this. So magnitude is decreasing. What is mean by this? This polar plot is going towards the origin, right? So here you can see magnitude is decreasing, and at omega is equal to infinity, magnitude is 0 because the point is at origin, right? So this is not possible that it at this point magnitude will be 0 because there is a finite distance from the origin up to this point, na? So what will be the magnitude? If I want to find out the magnitude at this point, I need to find out the frequency at that point. So how to find out the frequency? You can use the angle condition, this angle condition. So when I put minus 180 degree in this angle formula, I got at that point omega is what? At that point omega will be 1 radian per second. At that point omega will be 1 radian per second. So what I will do after finding out the frequency, I will just use this magnitude formula and we'll find out what will be the magnitude at that point. And what will be the phase at this point? What will be the phase at this point? What will be the phase at this point? Anyone? Phase will be 180, right? Minus 180 or 180. Okay, have you understood this problem? Any doubt here? You can ask me freely. Any point you can ask me. Okay. Okay, so can you proceed? If you have any doubt, you can ask me. So is this okay? No doubt here? I'm not getting any response. Any doubt at this point? Can we proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let us see this third example. Now, in this example, open loop transfer function is given. There is a 0 at minus 10 point and there is a pole at 10 point. Okay. So we just find it out magnitude. So this numerator and denominator term will get cancelled and you will get a magnitude 1. Okay. Magnitude of a complex number. J omega. First you need to replace S with J omega. I have directly calculated magnitude here. So you know the procedure, right? Now, if you calculate a phase here, that will be 2 into tan inverse omega by 10 minus 180 degree. So after finding out these two steps, let us start with finding out the magnitude and phase at omega is equal to 0. So at omega is equal to 0, magnitude will be 1, but angle will be minus 180 degree. At omega is equal to infinity, magnitude will be 1 and phase will be 0 degree. Okay. So now let us find out the ending direction. Okay, ending direction is what? Pi 1 minus pi 2. So this is the pi 1, this is the pi 2. So that will be negative angle. Okay, if angle is negative, ending direction will be anti-clockwise. Now starting direction. Now here, this is not a minimum phase system. What is mean by minimum phase system? In minimum phase system, all poles and zeros lies in the left half of the S-plane. So that will give us the minimum phase. Okay. So like this. So this will be the minimum phase system. And what is a non-minimum phase system? If there is at least one pole or zero lies in the right hand side of the S-plane. If there is any pole, so that will be the non-minimum phase system. Okay. Now here you can see that one pole is lying in RHP side of the S-plane. Okay, this one. Okay, so this will be the non-minimum phase system. You just don't apply the starting direction to that. Okay. So now let us see. At omega is equal to 0, magnitude is 1. So this point, sorry, angle I haven't seen. Okay. At omega is equal to 0, magnitude is 1 and angle is minus 180 degrees. So this is a minus 180 degree line. So from here it will start. So at this point magnitude will be 1, omega is equal to 0 and angle is minus 180 degree. Now the ending direction is anti-clockwise. Starting direction is not required. So we will take that as anti-clockwise only. So from this point it will start. At omega is equal to infinity, magnitude is 1 but angle is 0. So this is a 0 degree line, and what is the magnitude here? 1. So like this way the polar plot will start from this point and will end at this point, like this way, in anti-clockwise direction. So this will be the polar plot for this transfer function. Now here we haven't used starting direction because the system is non-minimum phase system. Non-minimum phase means there is a 1, 0 or pole lies in the right hand side of the S-plane. Okay, so this is the point here. So let us see this example. So here this is not a conventional transfer function, right? This is an exceptional case. So open loop transfer function is given. Pi into e raised to minus 2s is the open loop transfer function, and we need to draw the polar plot for this. So first replace s with j omega. So this will be g into j omega, h into j omega will be equal to pi into e raised to minus j2 omega. Okay. Now here magnitude of this term will be 1. Okay, as you know, the magnitude of this term will be 1. So what is the remaining magnitude? Pi. So magnitude will be pi for all the frequencies. Now let us calculate the phase in degrees. Okay, so now this will be the phase. 2 omega minus 2 omega will be the phase. Pi will be minus 2 omega into 180 upon pi. So that will convert into degree. So if you see, as you increase the omega from 0 to infinity, you will get a magnitude pi, and phase will get changed: 0, minus 90, minus 180, minus 360. So you will get a circle of a radius pi in a clockwise direction. Okay, angle is decreasing now. So like this way you will get a polar plot for this transfer function. So here we can conclude the polar plot section. Okay, so what is the main idea behind the polar plot? We will draw the plot on a polar plane, okay, on which magnitude and the phase is represented. Now here what we do, for open loop transfer function we use this polar plot technique, and we just vary the omega from 0 to infinity, and we observe the magnitude and phase change, and we plot this on a polar plane. Okay, that is the basic idea behind the polar plot. Now how to determine the system stability using a polar plot? When we will cover a Nyquist plot, after that we will see the stability using the polar plot. Okay, how to find out. So any doubt up to this point, freely you can ask me. I can repeat any point, because I am not getting, if people will not respond, I will not get any idea that you are getting or not, because we in this online structure. Okay, if you got any doubt here, you can ask me. Otherwise, you can say, yes, I understood this. So we can proceed to the next point. Any doubt here? Can you proceed? Sorry. Any doubt up to this point? Here polar plot is concluded. If you have doubt in any point, you can ask me at any time. Okay, when I will share this note with you. So can we proceed, everyone? Can anyone conclude me what we have done up to this point? Can anyone summarize it? So we can move to the next point. Avantika, Mihir, Shubham, Sandeep. Sandeep?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt here? Have you understood this clearly?
Yes, sir.
So can you just summarize it, what we have done? Anyone? Shubham, at least one fellow should. So can we start with Nyquist plot? Is all doubts related to the polar plot is over? Means you got the polar plot correctly. So can we start with Nyquist plot? Yes or no? Hello, am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
So can we start with Nyquist plot?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ठीक है. So we have seen the polar plot. Now this is the Nyquist plot. So in the Nyquist plot section, we will see how to draw the Nyquist plot, how to determine the stability using a Nyquist plot, and how it consists of two polar plots. Okay, so we will see that concept. So first, the Nyquist plot is depend on the mapping of the S-plane. Okay, on this concept, this Nyquist plot is depend. So what is mean by mapping of S-plane? A set of values of S in a S-plane are mapped to the GS-HS plane. So what is the meaning of this? So this is an open loop transfer function is given. There is a pole at -2. Okay. And here you can see in the S-plane, there is one contour. This red color you are seeing now, the closed loop contour. Okay. Now, on this contour, there are different points like a -4 plus j, -2 plus j, like that way. Okay, different points are there. Now, I will map this point using this open loop transfer function. So what I will do, map means, first I will put a -4 and I will check what value I get. 1 upon -4 plus 2, that will be -1/2, so that will be -0.5. So minus 0.5 is the value map for -4 point in a GS plane. Then I will put -4 plus j into this open loop transfer function. So I will get a point -0.4 minus j 0.2. Okay, like this way I have mapped all these points of S to the GS plane. Now let us draw this point in a GS plane. Okay, so first point will be -0.5. So this will be the -0.5 point. Okay, the next point will be -0.4 minus j 0.2. So this will be the -0.4 minus j 0.2. The next point will be -j. So this will be the -j point. So like this way, I have drawn all these points. Okay, and just drawn the contour. Okay, so like this way, when I map this particular contour, which is in S-plane, okay, using the open loop transfer function in the GS plane, I got this contour. Okay, now in a Nyquist plot, we map the contour. Okay, in polar plot, what mapping we do? In a polar plot, we map the imaginary axis of S-plane to GHSS plane. What is mean by that? In polar plot, what we have done, we have put at S is equal to j omega in transfer function, and then we have calculated the magnitudes. So we have put at S is equal to j omega. What is the j omega in S plane? That is this part. S is equal to j omega is this positive point, right? Positive part of imaginary axis. Okay. So this mapping we have done using open loop transfer function. When you put S is equal to j omega in the open loop transfer function in a polar plot, and you vary the omega from 0 to infinity. So here at this point omega will be 0. At this point omega will be infinite, means that is not an infinity, that is a finite point. So from just we consider this, if we increase the omega, then it will go up to the infinite point. That will be from 0 to infinity. You just consider that as an infinite radius circle, for example. Okay, so like this way, in a polar plot, we map the imaginary axis of a S-plane to the GS-HS plane. But in Nyquist plot, we map this contour like this, not this, but contour like this to the GS plane in the open loop transfer function. So that is the difference between Nyquist plot and polar plot. Now, let us see. So here, the formula is n is equal to p minus z. Okay. So based on this formula, this encirclement is there. Okay. So what is mean by n here? N is a number of encirclement of a origin in GS plane. So this is a GS plane. Okay. So n indicates the number of encirclement to the origin. Now here, how many encirclement to the origin is there? There is only one encirclement like this. Okay. There n is equal to 1. Now here the main thing is that we need to check the direction of the this contour in GS plane. So what is the direction of contour in GS plane here? Anti-clockwise direction. Okay, if anti-clockwise direction, n will be positive. Okay, and if there is clockwise direction, contour direction which is encircling the origin, that will be -1. Okay, n is equal to -1 in that case. Okay, so here if you see, n will be 1 here because this is anti-clockwise direction. Okay, now what is mean by p? P is the poles of open loop transfer function in this path. In this path defined. In this path, what are the poles defined? Open loop transfer function poles. And z is 0. So let us see, is this formula is whatever the mapping we have done, is this formula is following that mapping? So if you see in the open loop transfer function, there is a one pole at -2. Okay, so there is one pole at -2. So that is inside the contour. Okay, inside the contour. So I can say that P will be equal to 1. So I can say that P will be equal to 1 because there is an open loop pole inside this contour in S plane. This is the S plane and this is the GS plane. Okay. So what is the meaning of P? Open loop pole inside the contour. So there is a -2, there is only one pole. Now tell me about Z, that is open loop 0 inside the contour. What is the value of Z here? Open loop 0s inside the contour. Z is equal to. So what is the value of Z here? What is the value of Z here? There is no zero now. There is no zeros in this contour. So Z will be 0. So Z will be 0. So what will be the n? N will be P minus Z. So that will be 1 minus 0. So 1 is positive encirclement, right? So that will be anti-clockwise encirclement. So in the GS plane, you can observe the anti-clockwise encirclement about the origin. Okay. So this is very important concept when we study the stability using a Nyquist plot. That will be very helpful. Okay. So here you can see anti-clockwise encirclement is there because there is only one pole, there is no zero. So n will be got positive. So when n is positive, we consider that as a anti-clockwise encirclement. Okay, and when n is negative, we consider that a clockwise encirclement.